What's up everybody, this is Master EN Gamer. Earlier today, the Overwatch devs did a Reddit AMA where they went more in depth with some of the details and things we can expect to see with the upcoming Overwatch 2 release. So in this video, I wanted to break down some of the key important details that were discussed during this AMA, including more in-depth information regarding the Overwatch 2 monetization and battle pass system, hints and teasers for some new features, as well as new heroes that'll be upcoming in Overwatch 2, along with a handful of other juicy little details and tidbits of information that I think were interesting to point out. So without further ado, let's jump right on in, starting off with some information regarding the monetization system and in-game currencies. In one of the posts, it was specifically mentioned that current Overwatch 1 currencies, being credits, Overwatch League tokens, and competitive points, will in fact carry over into Overwatch 2. And what's more is that any unopened loot boxes players have on existing Overwatch 1 accounts will automatically be opened and have their rewards given upon the transition from Overwatch 1 to 2. So for any of you who are worried about having a ton of loot boxes, but you already purchased everything in the game, there's nothing left for you to get in the cosmetics department, don't worry, because at the very least, you'll have all those credits transition over to Overwatch 2, where you'll presumably be able to spend them on a bunch of new upcoming cool stuff. However, one caveat to this is that it was also mentioned in a separate post that Overwatch 1 credits won't be the same as the new Overwatch 2 virtual currency. This Overwatch 2 currency sounds like it's going to be a brand new thing they're introducing, which is going to become the primary form of currency in the game, with Overwatch 1 credits that have carried over still having some sort of use, but not being as universally useful as the Overwatch 2 credits. So perhaps the old Overwatch 1 credits could be used to buy certain new skins that come out in Overwatch 2, but not the Battle Pass and other specific types of cosmetics. We don't know the exact details on it just yet, but we do know that there will be a new currency, which will be more universal than the Overwatch 1 currency, and that the Overwatch 1 currency will still have some uses in Overwatch 2, which is definitely a good thing to hear. And speaking of this new Overwatch 2 virtual currency, it was mentioned that each season's premium battle pass will cost 1,000 virtual currency. This was mentioned in reference to the Watchpoint pack, which not only grants you the first season's premium battle pass, but also 2,000 virtual currency, which means that by purchasing the Watchpoint pack, you'll be able to get the first 3 seasons worth of premium battle passes, either just by getting the premium pass automatically, or by having enough virtual currency to purchase it yourself. This is nice to hear because it gives us a bit more context in terms of the actual value of an individual virtual currency, which I'm really hoping they have a more specific name for once Overwatch 2 launches, because I do not want to keep saying virtual currency for the rest of Overwatch's lifespan. But it was nice to get just a bit more context surrounding the battle pass and its price, although admittedly we don't really know the exchange rate of a virtual currency to a real world monetary value like a US dollar, so we'll have to wait and see the details on that front. But speaking of the battle pass, we also got a bit more information pertaining to the specific challenges that'll come alongside the battle pass, where it was specifically said that they're planning to add a variety of challenges that players can complete to progress their battle pass. However, they're not planning hero-specific recurring challenges, but rather are focusing more on lifetime challenges that are more akin to achievements and aren't intended to grant major progress for any given battle pass. Furthermore, their goal is to offer some choice as for which challenges players are able to focus on, presumably in an effort to just give people more freedom if they only focus on certain types of heroes as opposed to others, like if someone only plays tank heroes and never touches damage. I find this one to be a bit interesting. I would have assumed they'd go with a more generic battle pass challenge-like system that we typically see in other games, and definitely gets me thinking about how exactly a player actually levels up a given battle pass if there aren't challenges to grant you battle pass XP or whatever they end up calling it. It seems now like you might only be able to really reasonably level up by just simply playing matches, which isn't a bad thing necessarily, but is just an interesting direction to take it if you ask me. Another interesting thing brought up during this AMA is that we got confirmation from Aaron Keller that new social systems will be coming to Overwatch 2, and that they are indeed working on a guild system as well as in-game tournaments. Now, I know that both of these are things which many people have been extremely passionate about over the years, and incredibly hopeful to see added with Overwatch 2, and while the devs have teased the idea of these being things they've worked on multiple times in the past at this point, it is nice to get a little refresher, I guess you could say, and to get that clarification that the devs are still focused on these sorts of things and definitely want them to be something that comes to Overwatch 2, but it sounds like it's probably not going to be something we see in the immediate future. Just based on the wording of this post, it seems like it's more of a slightly long-term goal, maybe not like years from now, but like probably not when the game launches on October 4th, although I guess we'll just have to see. Nothing official has been said in terms of dates for that yet, but that's just the impression I got from it. Some more interesting little tidbits we got was new information pertaining to upcoming Symmetra changes, specifically in the focus of Overwatch 2 and 5v5, where it was said that she isn't necessarily going to be getting a rework, like not even a mini rework per se, but rather just sort of minor changes to help improve her effectiveness in the 5v5 format. The specific changes they mentioned were a shorter teleporter build time and a faster secondary fire projectile speed. So for those of you who enjoy playing Symmetra, these could be some interesting changes to see actually manifest, which maybe they'll be coming in the next beta, maybe not. We don't really know just yet, but at the very least, all you sim mains out there can know that there are some changes coming to the hero, even if they're nothing major. Next up, we unfortunately got what is perhaps the most disheartening thing said during this AMA, which is that the Overwatch dev team currently has no official plans to have more Mecha Squad heroes in the game, but that they like the idea of adding more. This is kind of devastating, unfortunately. As many of you know, I'm a big fan of some of the Mecha Squad heroes, specifically Overlord, and I've talked extensively about him as a character and why he should be a hero in-game, but lo and behold, it sounds like, at least at the time being, there are no Mecha Squad heroes planned to be added, aside from D.Va, who already exists. Rather disappointing, but still, someday, maybe, we can always dream, I guess. Next up, we got a bit of a clarification as for what we can expect with the upcoming new heroes, even extending past the 3 that we're going to be getting at the time of Overwatch 2 launching on October 4th. Specifically, it was mentioned that after these initial 3, the next new hero is going to be a tank hero, which is something we already knew from the roadmap they provided, but also that they are actively testing and developing 3 heroes beyond that specific tank hero, and 2 of those heroes specifically are support heroes. Now, we already know that we will be getting a new support hero with the launch of Overwatch 2 on October 4th, but now we know that there are 2 additional supports beyond that one also being developed and presumably going to be released within the 6 months or whatever following the end of 2022, which means we might be able to expect 3 new support heroes over the course of the next year. Definitely exciting for you support players out there to know that there are indeed more support heroes coming down the line, but unfortunately we didn't really get any more details beyond this. It was just clarification that, yeah, new supports are coming, and it's definitely a focus for the Overwatch dev team. On a similar note, the devs also mentioned how much they love hiding story, teasers, and maps and the like, and teasing future upcoming heroes, and they even gave a little hint regarding the upcoming new Portugal map, saying that there are evidently hints of a new faction present within the map, a faction which may or may not have an upcoming unannounced hero associated with it. So this is definitely an interesting little tease. I, of course, always love delving into the new maps we get, and so I'm definitely going to be taking a look around Portugal once we finally are able to jump into it, because evidently there are some teasers there hinting at an upcoming hero. Again, no idea who this hero is or when they're going to end up coming, but definitely exciting to know that there are some juicy details for us to look out for. Alright, having covered all the major noteworthy topics from this AMA, I'm just going to do a quick lightning round of the other ones that I think are worth mentioning. It was reiterated that yes, this upcoming Overwatch 2 beta will include the new looks for all the old Overwatch 1 heroes. Overwatch 2 evidently has 18,000 plus new interaction voice lines, including interactions between tank heroes, which is notable because some people were concerned they wouldn't be there since only 1 tank per team. You don't really get the tanks interacting that much. But evidently, yes, they are still going to have tank interactions between 2 tank heroes. Moira is still undergoing some iterations with her new utility and abilities. Apparently, it's not going to be ready at the time this upcoming beta actually launches, but could very well end up being added a bit later down the line. The devs evidently have no plans to enable aim assist for console players who are playing with PC players as part of crossplay, but they do have plans to broaden accessibility in Overwatch 2, which includes, but is not limited to, new forms of text-to-speech, as well as speech-to-text. So those are definitely going to be some cool features to have added as well. And on that note, that does it for this quick Overwatch 2 dev AMA. Admittedly, there wasn't a ton of new information brought up here today, unfortunately. Granted, the beta is going to be starting in only about a week from now, and we did just have the reveal event this past week that gave us a ton of new information, so it's kind of understandable that they didn't have too much unique and interesting to announce for this individual AMA. But nonetheless, I would love to hear your thoughts on anything that was talked about here today down in the comments below, and as always, be sure to subscribe, follow me on Twitter, hit up that bell icon, and come join my Discord server to hang out and never miss any of my future Overwatch content. Special thanks to my YouTube channel members who help make these videos possible, and if you'd like to join them to earn some cool rewards, then just hit that join button down below. Otherwise, this is Master Ian Gamer signing off, and until next time, have a great day.